Hey, this is Casual Combos and welcome to King of Fighters development over the years. In this new series regarding King of Fighters, we're going to be looking at how certain teams' moves and aesthetics changed over the times. And what kind of significance those changes had. And just how cool it is to see that this game is not afraid to literally change your main out of nowhere. So first we're going to look at Team Art of Fighting because they are going to have some crazy changes since they end up getting into a whole thing with Capcom and end up parodying Capcom, while Capcom also parodies them. It's pretty cool. So first we're going to start with Robert because he actually does get some significant changes that make him very different from the main character of the team, Ryo Sakazaki. So right now we're looking at his basic moveset just to kind of get an idea for this because this is actually going to either stay consistent over time or even have some minor changes done to it. But after all the recording I've done, it seems that they've kind of kept him somewhat consistent. So right now we're looking at Ryu Gekiken, which is his version of the Kouken. Trust me though, the projectiles are not going to look that much different among this team. Now we're looking at Ryuga, his equivalent to the Koho uppercut which Ryo Sakazaki performs. The thing you'll notice here is that the heavy version does not knock over the opponent. Honestly, that's pretty bad because that just leaves him open. I guess that's only left to an anti-air. Also, I think I did forget to probably put rolling in first, like rolling animations and all that, so forgive me for that. So now we're looking at the Geneikyuk, which is the equivalent to the Zanretsuken, which Ryo performs with his fist instead, which in English translates to Phantom Leg. And it's pretty awesome. Alright, so now we're going to see his Hien Shippukyak. This move most of the time will always have a follow-up on its heavy version. But just keep these things in mind and be prepared to see some crazy changes over the time. Let's just get one more look at the heavy version. So now we're going to see the Hao Shokoken. This move surprisingly started out as a normal move, which was a surprise for me going back to 94 and 95. And now for the thing that makes Robert different from everybody else on this team. A dive kick known as Hien Ryujin Kyak. This move will see some significant changes over the years, because it is his thing. And now for the Ryuko Rambu. This is what came to be known as the first super move ever made in a fighting game when it first appeared in Art of Fighting, and it's ranked number 2 in my top 10 signature moves list. So now we're taking a look at Ryo Sakazaki with his bouncy fighting stance. In comparison to Robert, Ryo's actually going to see a big change, and then they're only going to play a little bit around with that. But otherwise, let's take a look at where he started, especially with his basics and whatnot. Because these are the things that somewhat do remain the same. In fact, I feel like there's a bit of a statement being made here because once he makes his big jump to his change, he kind of stays with that in this basic moveset that's always there, and then he'll gain a few moves and then he'll lose them, but he's still essentially the same. And right here I'm showing their taunts, Ora Ora and Hey Einstein. Now because I was explaining earlier, I didn't get to explain this as a Kouken. But yeah, it's pretty much similar to Robert's Ryu Gekiken. Now, of course, Ryo has his own little uppercut move, the Koho, which, of course, unlike Ryuga, which looks most similar to the Shoryuken, this one's done on the front fist, the front-facing fist. This is a special move that Ryo will always have no matter what, and it just gets, some balance changes and hit property changes, because in this game it just does not function that well, just like the Ryuga. I mean, that should be causing knockdown, seriously, just like the Light Punch version, but instead it's no. So Robert does his little rapid attack with his fist, so it's known as the Zanretsuken. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but, Geneikyuk and Zanretsuken are really cool. Of course, Ryo has a Hien Shippukyak. And, I mean, since the animation is different with each character, for their heavy versions and all that kind of stuff, you could pretty much say these guys are echo characters of each other, similar to how it is in Smash Bros. I must use Hao Shokoken. It's going to be pretty much the same across both of these guys here. I mean, there might be one game with one difference, but otherwise it's literally going to be exactly the same in most of the games. The one thing that makes Ryo different from Robert: aerial Koukens. You also probably noticed the audio quality change, just try to ignore it. And Ryuko Rambu, this move is, well, my second favorite move of my top favorite signature moves. It's flipping awesome, I don't know what else to say. Okay, so now we got Takuma Sakazaki, the father of Ryo Sakazaki, and also once the villain in Art of Fighting, known as Mr. Karate. He will have some similarities to Ryo, but he's actually probably the most different character from the two out of this team, especially as the game goes on. Otherwise, while we look at his basics, you'll probably realize, like, yeah, there's some big similarities between their basic moveset. He'll have one move inspired from his Mr. Karate form, but otherwise, bring it on, he says. So, just to mention about his Koken, he puts his hand on his arm there. That's actually pretty cool. What you trying to do, Takuma? Stabilize your ki or something? And that's actually the one thing about Takuma. He seems to have this very big thing over the way he uses his ki, almost. Regardless, you'll see more of that later. Zanretsuken, your typical stuff. He already said it for me. And for the one thing that differentiates him, the Syoran Kyak. Surprisingly, you can combo into it. This was a thing in King of Fighters 94. I'm not sure if there are any other games where you could do this, but I know you couldn't do it in Street Fighter, that's for sure. Regardless, Haoshokoken. Actually, he says Haoshikoken instead of Shokoken. And his Ryuko Rambu. And instead he ends it with a Haoshikoken. Freaking Takuma. Hey, King of Fighters 95. Whoa, look at those sprites. They have been updated in the animating way. Regardless, let me draw your attention to Robert's moves. You know, got some sprite updates. Also, if I could draw your attention to his ass. Remember how that ass looks, everybody. It's important. Just making sure you remember. Ass. Alright, so let's show off Ryu Gekyo. Okay, that's a little faster than... Okay, that's really fast. Alright, so Ryuga, he's got the Ryuga still, but what about the heavy... Oh my god, the heavy version works, and it hits twice. Oh, that sounds sexy. Now, I can't be for sure. There might be a subtle animation difference, but Genekyo's still there. Hienshipu-kyak. Hien-yu-jin-kyak is pretty much the same as well. Now we have the Kyokugen Ryu Renbuken. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to find what it is for Ryo Sakazaki, but hey, he has a juggle starter! That's freaking awesome! I'd probably say it's at this point they started to mess around with juggles, which is really cool. Haoshokoken! It might be just a bit faster on the heavy version. Let's see if anything changed with Ryuko Rambu. The double hit and the sound effects. Alright, Sakazaki, animation upgrade. What else is new, dude? And do try to remember that thing I said about Robert. You remember that thing? You know, the starts with an A. Alright, Koken. Alright. Yep, okay, so, you know, that speed upgrade is, it's across pretty much all the characters that shoot a Koken of some kind. Koho, you know, light version, still good as usual. Let's check out the heavy version. Alright, alright. The Robert, Ryo, just echoing off each other, as usual. Oh! So, see, now it's a whiff hit. I forgot to actually, do that with Robert, I guess, but, you know, we saw it with Ryo. It's pretty much the same thing. Aerial Kokens, yep. Alright, Zanretsuken, seen it, done it. I mean, the sound effects sound great with, you know, the moves. They sound really good here. Yeah. Ryo's got his Renbuken, you know, I mean, he does the punches, Robert does the kicks. It's their thing, you know, they got a sick little game going on with each other. The one thing that will pretty much never change between them, just, you know, not just the looks, but not the properties. And of course... Oh my gosh, Takuma, you're not frozen in place. Regardless, it's basic moves time, but you know what? It's the same. Alright, Koken. But okay, here's the thing, guys. I mean, the basic moves... Yeah, I mean, those are cool, and maybe there are like a few changes here and there in one of the games or so, right? But it's mostly the special moves that get the big updates, especially here and there. I'll make sure to try and get those additional moves, and hopefully I don't forget any. So they decided to make the light version, the grab version, and the lunge version on the heavy kick, as you see here. Which is pretty cool. I mean, it gives them a little more to play around with. Freaking Takuma and his Haoshi Koken. Just because you say it differently doesn't mean it's different, Takuma. Alright, 96, here we are, and, okay, where's Takuma? Oh, guys, oh no. Oh no. Just because you say it differently doesn't mean it's different, Takuma. Now I have to cover 94 and 95 for Yuri, because she's gonna be on the team for a pretty long time. So Yuri's on the women's fighting team because Takuma and Ryo are overprotective of her. And to make matters worse, even though Robert is actually a very caring boyfriend and is supportive of her dreams, the Sakazakis don't approve of their relationship, even though Robert has gone out of his way for their dojo to keep them afloat, and, of course, Ryo's sister. Regardless, Yuri's actually a really awesome character, believe it or not. I mean, taking all into consideration, she's a pretty influential character if you ask me. Regardless, her basic moveset pretty much comes from the Sakazaki fighting style. She only has one particular move difference in the air, and that's her jumping heavy punch, which is a hammer punch. Not bad. Now, of course, being a Sakazaki, she has the Koken, and she also has the Haosho Koken, but other than that, she's actually pretty original, which is really cool. So for starters, we have the Saiha. This move is just a little bit of a projection of her ki. Sometimes it's used as a juggle starter, or sometimes it's even used to juggle. It's pretty interesting. Next, we have Ryoken. Geez, she just has a lot of ki projection. It's pretty awesome. I mean, I guess you could say it's an aerial Koken, but it has a specific jump trajectory. Now for the Hyakuretsu Binta. And these are not just any kind of slaps. These are a fighter's slaps. That's gotta hurt. They all must use Haosho Koken. The entire family. They must use Haosho Koken. I must use Haosho Koken. Oh yeah, by the way, did you know this is a meme? Okay, and I just realized I missed out on command moves. That little butt attack was a command move. I am so sorry I missed out on this, and probably for other characters, maybe. Regardless, we got the Hien Ho Kyak. Oh yeah, did I mention anything about asses before? You know, like, something to remember? Well, regardless, you know, animation update as usual. And, of course, we're just gonna quickly cover this. Okay, and there it is. Oh, wait, can't forget. Alright, there. Alright, so Koken became the same color as everybody else's. Saiha looks great though. Saiha looks really good. Man, that looks really cool. Holy smokes, I'm loving it. Alright, Ryoken, still Ryoken. It's got a little twirl. That was also on the previous one. Alright, Hyakuretsu Binta. Okay, it actually travels. Kind of like the Sioran Kyak that Takuma does. And yes, you can combo into the close version. Basic throws also don't change too much in these games, although there's like a point where they lose a second throw animation, which is kind of sad, but you know, it comes back in 14. Regardless, now Yuri has Cho Upper, and that's pretty much her version of the Koho. Though I'll wait till 96 to kind of discuss why she does it this way. Okay, Haosho Koken. Yep, but they must use it. And Hien Ho Kyak. Okay, we're finally here. And man, are you gonna be surprised with Robert. Just look at this. Art of Fighting 3 happened, and he got a wardrobe change. And you're gonna be surprised with a lot of other things, but just freaking check out these pants. And speaking of the drapery on the clothes, check out the video in the description by Sugar Punch Design Works. Okay, basic moveset time. Let's see if anything changed. I mean, regardless, this is a complete animation change because of the new clothes. Oh, and remember what I said about butts. That's gonna be important in the future. So right here, I'm just using the run and backstep animation just to, you know, get a little idea. Oh, and I do test for command moves. You know what? It turns out I might have not missed anything. It's just Yuri who had that at the time. Okay, Ryu Gekiken. Okay, what the heck is going on here? What? No. Oh, dear lord, what has happened? I mean, I'm not liking what happened there, but it's a short-range projectile now? Regardless, Robert has some new tricks up his pants. Now, this is his new Hienshi Pukyak, but I don't know, there's something that seems a little similar about this multi-hitting thing, you know? So basically, Capcom and SNK at this point, we're starting to parody each other in a way. Like, this is kind of the big point where it really hit on hard. Like, they wanted to experiment with short-range projectiles, and then comes along Dan Hibiki with short-range Gadoken. Regardless, you know, we got the same double-hit Ryuga, and it's, you know, it's Ryuga, what can I say? Alright, Hienyu Jinkyak, alright, that's the short-range version, and... Ooh, okay, the long-range version has an animation difference to show the difference. That's cool. Alright, let me just show you the basic throws. Those are his basic throws, there you go. The Renbukyak? Ooh, it looks beautiful in this game. I mean, they changed it completely, but that looks very good. Like, oh... Oh yeah, up-close attacks. Forgot those were a thing too. My bad, guys. So now Haoshokoken is an actual super move. Whoa. Okay, that's great. That's great. And I might not cover the close range moves too often. I mean, they're kind of the same pretty much throughout the game. Regardless, Ryuko freaking Rambu. I don't know. I mean, this time it looks really cool. Is it just because he's in a different outfit, or is it because it's smoother animation? I'm not sure, but it looks... Wait a second. Let's watch that one more time. Okay, that's the light version. Let's do the heavy version. Okay, it has a lot more hits on it. That's interesting. So now they decided to add a new mechanic in, which is Super Desperation Mode. When your HP is low and you have your max meter, like, oh. Oh. Freaking epic. Let's do the light version. Maybe there's a difference. Maybe. Okay, it's 3 less hits, but still, like, this is such an epic version of the move. Like, holy smokes, guys. He's spinning around like it's a Shinryuken. This one you might not be able to see so easily, but the Haoshokoken sends the person spinning around and does more damage. Otherwise, if you were a Robert main, you're gonna have to make an adjustment to the new projectile and his Hienshi Pukyak. Alright, Ryo Sakazaki, what is new? Okay, oh my god, his fighting stance. What? Oh, yep, okay, they changed his Koken as well. It's close range now. Okay, gotta get in close with that, huh? Wow, yeah, okay. They're going through with this. They're like, nope, Koken is now a close range projectile. Done. But otherwise, let's look at the basics, you know, like he's got the same stuff, literally. Like, I mean, here, let's do his basic throws, right? Actually, you know, running, backdashing. I mean, I'm just dubbing this part like freeform, but see, like, you know, these are throws he's had already somewhat. So, you know, but even then we're looking at it here so you can get an idea of what he's going to have throughout the entire series, pretty much. And then he's going to lose the, you know, one of them. Alright, regardless, let's look at the crouching moves and then the close range attacks as well. So Ryo's light punch becomes an elbow, his heavy punch becomes a body blow. What about his kicks? His heavy kick becomes a little low kick, so that's cool. So as with the Koken, you know, the light version doesn't actually move and the heavy version moves a step forward. So yeah, you've got those options to play around with. Koho makes its return, light punch version and the heavy punch version with the double hit. It's good stuff. Did you just adjust to Hienshi Pukyak? Well, it's not the same anymore. Get used to this stuff now. You are now playing a different Ryo, and this will remain. This will remain consistent. So get used to it, because this is going to be your life from now on. Unless you're playing 98s and you're playing the classic version of Ryo. We have a new punch special known as the Moko Raijin Go. It's a little bit of an uppercut. The heavy version can combo into a Koho. This one is only going to stay around for so long, unfortunately. It's pretty cool, though. I mean, you know, they're giving him stuff to play with. His Renbuken returns. Now, I think at this point I got annoyed with the background because Ryo's, you know, gi color, but here's his Ryuko Rambu, and it does not change light or heavy, so I think because of Art of Fighting 3's Robert being the main character, that might be why Robert got the special treatment. Regardless, Haoshokoken's blue now. That's awesome. Super Desperation. Ryo did not get the special treatment, but his Haosho Koken, more damage, and changes color when it's in Super Desperation. Not sure why they didn't do that with Robert, though. Alright, Yuri Sakazaki, what has changed? Well, okay, the fighting stance is one thing, that's for sure. Alright, let's check out those basics. Okay, the animation's looking a little bit different. That's pretty cool. Wonder if that means completely different frame data then. Probably, but can't say for sure. Otherwise... Oh my gosh, her light kick! Okay, so they gave her a new light kick in the air. That's really cool. It's like more anti-air finishing. Anti-air with the aerial. Okay, whatever. Regardless, those are her close range attacks. And let's see. That's her backdashing and her run. Koken is once again short range, but it feels like she has the most range on it. Yeah, she definitely she reaches forward the most. Okay, she's got a burning knuckle, like Terry Bogard. I mean, that's pretty interesting, you know, once again, just like Ryo Sakazaki, giving a few more options to play around with. Alright, what happened to Ryoken? Now it's a jumping forward thing? Like, okay. I mean, that's cool and all, but, you know, before it was a projectile, right, guys? So, now all of a sudden they're like, nope, it's now just a jumping forward chi attack thing. Okay, so Cho Appa, now she says it. She actually says it. Cho Appa! That's pretty cool. But on her heavy version... Oh yeah, she has a little follow-up to that. That's cool. That's really cool. I feel like they just wanted to breathe even more life into these characters by making these changes. Is that Sakura's Shumpukyak? That's Sakura Shumpukyak from Street Fighter. Remember what I said about Capcom and SNK? Capcom was saying that SNK was copying them, so, you know, I guess they decided to copy them. But that's the fun about parody. Regardless, you know, her Hyakuretsu Binta is back, and it's pretty slappy powerful. So she's got a close version, you know, make it easier to combo into. And then let's look at her basic throws too, which is a slap and a Tomoe Nage. I must use Haosho Koken. Hien Ho Kyak. She also gets the same Haosho Koken treatment, more damage, more knockback. And her Hien Ho Kyak. Whoa! Lots of hits and she ends with like a freaking Ryoken. That's cool. Let's see that one more time. Alright, 97. This has the introduction of my most favorite fighting game character of all time. So because I forgot to show it so long ago, I'm just going to show it here. This is 97's Extra Mode, which is a play on the 94 and 95 style, with front stepping, back dashing, and in-place dodging.
Round 2. Ready, go! Ha! 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 Ora, ora! Round 3. Ready, go!
Alright, so now into the real thing, except here's the thing. The characters are pretty much the same here, so I think I can only just show off so much because there's just too much similarities. Rolling, backstepping, you know, and running. I forgot to show the rolling, but, you know, this has pretty much remained consistent throughout the games. Otherwise, I mean, you know, there's not much different here. Okay, I think I forgot to show off heavy blow, so I'll just show that here, but that's also remained consistent. Okay, maybe not, but this is what it'll be from now on. But the most they did in 97 was just balance out the new changes that they made, pretty much. So I'll just show things off quickly, but I'll make word on things that I could see had a difference. I guess what I'm looking more for is like animation changes and whatnot. Not so much the very hardcore stuff like, oh, there's a slight increase in juggle capability or hit frame adjustment, etc. Now he has the jumping karate chop known as the Raijin sets. That's pretty fitting of his character. And now we have the Tenchi Haoken. It may seem like a basic punch, but its Super Desperation version actually stuns the opponent instantly. This has been known to make even 100% death combos. Regardless, a great quality of life change has been made to the Haosho Koken. It has a new graphic and it hits 5 times. It's pretty awesome, and it's super fast. Oh yeah, also Ryo's always had a command move. It's just a chop, but, you know, he can combo into that now as well. Alright, Robert Garcia. Let's look at his basic stuff. And his roll, of course. So Robert has his command move, which is a back kick. This might have been in 95 or 96, but otherwise, pretty good range. The heavy blow. I did mention Ryugeki Ken couldn't hit up close, but now it does, so that's great. And a correction to the name of this move is actually the Hien Senpu Kyak. The Ryujin Kyak no longer knocks the opponent down. Robert's new move is the Ryuzan Sho, which is basically a flash kick. Robert's no longer special, he does not have the heavy version. But now he has the Mue Shipuju Dan Kyak. His turn's blue. I don't know about you, but that move is really awesome. Alright, they took away the light kick she had in the previous game. Huh. The light version of Ryoken doesn't have the front flip, I guess, to differentiate it from the heavy version, which keeps the front flip. Now she has the Hien Rekko, which is basically a whole bunch of Cho-uppers. Yuri has a Red Hall Shokoken. Alright, that's the end of part 1. I'm gonna save 98 for the next part because that's gonna be like the big send-off before 99, 2000, 2001, and so on. And also 98 has all the characters as well as their classic versions, so that's gonna be a lot, and you know, I'd rather keep this below 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the start of this. You know, it's been a long time since I've recorded any footage because I've been trying to figure out what to do, and this is one of the big projects. You see, I saved this all for the end because, you know, at this point, you're probably going to switch off to the next video or find something else to do with yourself, or a better way to use your time. I'm not sure which. Otherwise, the next part is going to have 98, 99, 2000, and 2001. I'm not sure about 2002, though. But otherwise, make sure to do all that good stuff if you're watching this for the first time and you're new here. You know, subscribe, like, whatever, that stuff. The general procedure. Otherwise, if you want to check out things that are not fighting games or, I don't know, something to do with fighting game mechanics or whatnot, definitely be sure to check out my channel, Koyota. You know, that's where I, like, pretty much do everything and anything and whatever comes to my head. And check out a Uology to Kim's Pants Animation Excellence by Sugar Punch Design Works. Oh my god, please watch that. It is so good. It is awesome. I love it. Anyway, guys, peace out.